And we are back. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood. It is Goat Talk Podcast, episode 3. It is Sunday, November 14th. Man, only a little bit more and the year is over. I am Goat Heaven Hollywood. And of course, by my side, as usual, the one and only Goat Alexis. And good morning, Goat Alexis. How are you?
I'm feeling good this morning. I just woke up like 20 minutes ago and I spent like 5, 10 minutes brushing my teeth alone. So I feel extra good and fresh.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So we got a lot to talk about. This week was crazy. We're gonna get into a lot of things. We're gonna get into, our perspective on what is going on. And of course we got some exclusives as always. So let's just get into our first topic. And that of course is what the entire entertainment world is talking about, and that is Travis Scott and the Astroworld tragedy. I call it the Astrozaster, the disaster that happened at Astroworld. And the main question that everyone's been asking, go to Alexis, I know you've been following it, and the main question everyone's been asking from day one is who is to blame?
Hmm.
And people at first are gonna say, of course they had people defending Travis, they had people say, well, Travis didn't know. Like how would Travis know? He was on stage, and and that stuff is true. Yes, that is true. However, it's up to Travis Scott to know these things. Okay, so in your opinion, I'll let you take on it first. Who's to blame mostly for this?
I don't think Travis Scott should get the full blame because, first, it's all about perspective. If you know who Travis Scott is, then you know about his shows. If you ever been, what I mean is, if you've ever been to a Travis Scott show, then you know exactly how it works and how it goes. I went to his show back in 2015, and even I'll admit, I paid for my tickets. I was in general admission, and there was a lot of
Right,
kids, not adults. There was a lot of kids in the building that did not pay for their tickets. They just snuck in, and they were bragging about it. And there were, when I say kids, it wasn't like I was what 20 at the time, 21 at the time. It was a lot
mhm,
of 15, 16 year olds, like kids in a building. And not just that, when you go to a concert and everybody's enjoying themselves, dancing and vibing and just having a good time.
right.
So at the Travis Scott concert, they were doing mosh pits. And if you ever been in a mosh pit, then you already understand the energy is going to be hyper. It's going to be a lot of energy. It's going to be a lot of pushing. Tell me why they were doing a mosh pit the entire show, Heaven.
Yeah.
And what you tell me is, this is back in 2015 at the Tabernacle. And
Wow.
I only go to concerts if it's at the Tabernacle because I smoke my weed and I
Right.
can't go nowhere if I can't smoke my weed. So I went up there. I was already high. I was hungry, and it was a mosh pit going on. When I say I almost passed out, I mean it. I almost passed out myself. I
Wow.
other people pass out, and you know what didn't stop? The show. And I'm not saying that's a good thing because even I thought that was
Mm.
there was people passing out in the middle of a mosh pit getting stepped on. People wearing white t-shirts had shoe stains on the back of their shirts. You feel what I'm saying? He did not stop the show. To me, what I get from that is that he's used to those type of things happening at his shows. What they did was throw them a water bottle. 15 minutes later, they revived themselves and got back out there. So
Oh
his
man.
shows are super intense. They're intense, and you got to be ready for that. So when I say that, I'm speaking on that, and I'm only sharing this story because a lot of people say, well, he was looking in the crowd. He knew exactly what was happening. No, I think he's just used to people passing out at his shows. So I don't think that was intentional. But as far as blame goes, he will be accountable for the people who got injured. He will be accountable for the people who died. And for people who got a problem with that, I want to let you know, like, if you were to get in your car right now, say you were drunk, say you was neglectful any type of way, and you got in an accident that cost people their lives, that cost somebody to be paralyzed for the rest of their life or injured for the rest of their life, and it hit the news, guess who's losing their job the next day?
Mm-hmm. Look at Henry Ruggs from
You,
from the Las
yes,
from Las Vegas. Perfect example.
Anytime these white people get caught up in the media because they want to be a Karen, you know what I'm saying? They lose their job because it's about representation. And a company, once it's known who you work for, the company is not going to take that L by being embarrassed by you. They're going to replace you. So it's life. Whatever happens to Travis Scott after this, it's just life. You know, he's going to be facing lawsuits for the rest of his career, period.
Wow. Um, Totally agree. I probably give him a little more blame than you give him. Um, I do understand though. What I do understand from your take is, and I know because I've filmed before, and of course before I even got into media and filming, I used to rap. So I've performed on stage before. Now you're talking about I've never performed in a place where it's 50,000 people, but I performed in just a small venue with the lights out, and lights are shining on you, and I couldn't see what was going on in the crowd. Now you're talking about a small venue. So
Hmm.
imagine him on that stage with all those people, and there's lights flashing, there's cameras flashing. For and trust me, I'm not trying to defend Travis Scott because I give him a lot of blame because as you said, he's used to this being happening. He has already, pled guilty in the past for this exact same thing, and
Yep.
it was just last year. Um, Someone was paralyzed at his show, so he gets most of the blame to me because it's his show, and at the end of the day, that security or whatever, he has to sign off on who's gonna be what, especially his personal security. He has to sign off on a lot of that because that Astroworld pretty much his creation. I of course give the venue. I'm gonna probably give them half and half. I'm gonna give Travis blame. I'm gonna also give the venue or whoever threw the event. I guess it's
Absolutely.
Live Nation. They have to take the other
Absolutely.
portion of the blame. And
Absolutely.
they should have people want Travis is performing. So I might even go 55-45 um for the venue on the Travis because he's up there performing and you can't really expect him to see everything up there. Even though I do believe that he saw those people. I do believe he saw something. But I'm not gonna say that he saw everything. Here's another a soulful question that everyone's talking about, and we are dealing with the entertainment industry, and everyone's talking about the ritualistic effect. Everyone's got stories about how it was energy, how he was soul snatching. There was one girl I saw that was saying this man was soul snatching on from the stage, and we all know, like I said, we don't have to sit here and go over the whole, you know, um, energy and demonic and spirit thing about the entertainment industry. If you follow the entertainment industry, you should know that already. Okay, so we don't really have to go into that. But what about people saying that this was a ritual in an entertainment sacrifice? Because people that follow conspiracy theorists and just conspiracy followers that follow the entertainment industry, everyone knows that the end of October going into the first week of November is the biggest so-called sacrifice time of the year. Of course, King Vaughn, I believe they said, died the same day last year or the year before, whenever he died, as Travis's concert. What's your take on all of that stuff? Because I mean, everyone knows my take on it. Because I was in the industry, 20 a total of 21 years, when you combine everything that I did. And I've seen a lot of stuff, and what's your whole take on that ritual sort of thing? People are saying this was not an accident, this was a ritual and, non-accidental.
First, before I fully answer that question, I want to tell people exactly what happened if you're unaware, if somehow you was under a rock. Travis Scott had a concert in which over 50,000 people were in attendance. A lot of people of that 50,000 people snuck in, did not have tickets, were not checked by the security or anything like that. They just snuck in, and this was behavior that was influenced by Travis Scott on his Twitter. He's done it in the past. He's a rager. That's something that he goes by, and he wants to stand on that image. But a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old passed away at the concert,
Mm, mm.
and other victims were 21, 23, and 27. A 10-year-old is still in critical condition. He's in a coma, an induced coma, because his brain is so swelled up that they don't even know what's going to happen to him. So this is this is a tragedy at the end of the day, and that's just to explain that much. But Heaven, I don't, I'm a religious person. I'm a Christian. My spirit, my energy is clean and it's peaceful, and I don't I don't try to pay attention to that. So,
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm a fan of you, and I went on your website. In case you didn't know, website. I paid my $2, and I read and I read and I read, and I don't want to call it convincing. I just want to say so much information on your website about conspiracies that, based off the information you provided, and just to see what Travis Scott got going on, I'll just say this: this is weird, and it could be believable, but I'll let you explain why you would say it has connections to being demonic, because I don't really want to speak on that. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Definitely give you that one thing before we go forward. I don't want to take credit for as much as I would love to. I don't want to take credit for that website because that is not my website. That is G's website, Gina Torres, who
Okay.
I mentored.
Okay.
So yeah, so I mentored her into the entertainment industry, and
Y'all.
she just and we just and we've worked together. So I have where it's the kind of like the right church, wrong pew. I have worked on that. Like if she goes away, or if she takes a vacation, she might have me post some stuff or what have you. But a lot of the information, which you are true, a lot of information that she gets and puts on her site, she does get from me, like especially the older information because I'm older than her. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, but I do appreciate that compliment. I'm gonna say it like this, and anyone that's followed me will know I'm a Christian as well. I was a preacher's kid. Rest in peace to my father, Pastor Clark. Um, so I grew up religious. That's the reason why when people talk about they're putting a hex on me and they're putting this on me, that's why I never worry about that. Right, because those things, even though I believe in them and I believe it to be truth, but they only going to work if you allow them to work. All right, so that's the thing about witchcraft and these other things. Yeah, I believe in it, but I believe in a higher power, and I'm covered by the blood, as they say. So that stuff doesn't bother me. No one will ever be able to put a curse on me, right? So it's just like the entertainment industry, as as you can read about especially the music industry. You can read about the music industry in the Bible itself. And you being a Christian, I'm sure you know. Um, I was just reading this whole thing made me research. I don't know the exact chapter in verse, but it was in Isaiah where it said that music will be the habitat of Satan.
Ooh.
So that's what it said in the Bible. Music will be the habitat of Satan, like in the last days, which we are living in. We've been living in for a while. So I mean, when I say last days, I don't want to scare people like, oh, next week it's over, but we've been living in the last days since I was a kid. You know what I mean? So, um, but music is going to be the habitat of Satan, and I do believe when people say, well, if that's a God given talent, why would God give you that talent to go into the music industry to serve the devil? Well, God doesn't give you that talent. God gives you the talent. I always was taught the devil gives you the fame. Okay, so if you are using your talent to sing for God, and you're not, you're just using it to sing for God or uplift His people. That's what He gave you that initially. That's what He gave you that talent for. It even says in the Bible as well. And once you're going to see the description. I'll even put the verses in the description box. Um, Once He did not give you these talents to go make money off of it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Now, I don't want people to get mad at me. It's in the Bible. As my old pastor used to say, it's in the book. Don't get mad at me. It's in the book. You know what I mean? So it's in the book. So it just say he did not give you these talents for you to become famous and make money off of it. Because when you know, start going into that realm of fame, that's when all of the other things take place. And I just always believe that the top artists, it's just too much of a coincidence because it happens too much, right? I just always believe that the top artists in the game that are highly, highly successful, you know, there's a reason why most of them act the same way. Most of them take the same poses and pictures. Most of them have the same symbolisms. I mean, you look into stuff and you're like, what is the reason? Why do you take a picture with your eye covered? I just want to ask. I want to ask entertainers that, and then when they're ever in interviews, no one ever asks them because they probably know not to. So then, what is the point? Like, why does all of the no one, people that say, "Oh, this isn't real," that's that do they ever sit back and think like, okay, why does everyone that is considered Illuminati or took the oath or what have you, why do they all take the same pose? Um why is their house all designed the same way? Why do they all have the black and white Masonic floors? Like every single entertainer. It's like, so all of y'all got the same designer? Like no matter where they live. But the thing about Travis Scott is when you look at it's even before the concert, like the flyers and the things that was talked about in his little the symbolisms in his flyers where we see you on the other side, just little things like that.
Right.
Being in the industry, I've learned about that stuff a long time ago when it started with what they call backmasking, when you spin the record backwards. All that stuff is true. Like those are hidden subliminal messages in songs that subconsciously take in. It's building your subconscious that these messages that are coming out. And there is a video for anybody who does not know, and we're gonna move on. Anybody who does not know, just go listen to a man named John Todd. And for I always tell people who don't want to believe me, who say, "Oh, you're reaching," oh, just listen to a guy. Look up a guy named John Todd, who was a member of the Illuminati. He made these audio tapes in the 70s. So it's not like somebody like now who people say, "Oh, you're just reaching, you're looking for a reason to, you know, say that black people aren't talented." That's what I hear from a lot of black people. Why is it that only black people do it? But that's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's not the truth. That's just a way of saying black people aren't talented. If you want to go listen to John Todd. He has a tape called "Demons in the Industry," and he's talking about this in the 70s, right? About what they do on back then they were on 8 tracks. So what they do on the reels, how they used to take the reels up to the top floor in these record companies, which I can confirm still exists. They still exist.
Right.
There's a I worked in Def Jam. Def Jam had it. Universal has it. Warner has it. So I can confirm what the things he's saying is absolutely true. There is a top room, and they call it a prayer room, and it's a prayer room, they, for whatever reason, they would take the reel when it was done. Every single reel was done went to that prayer room. Now, you can put together why it was going up there. I'm not going to tell anybody why it was going up there. I'm not going to give my opinion on that. I'm just going to say listen to John Todd and just look him up. It's JOHNTODD, Demons in the Industry. Just to let you know, after those audios, that man put them audios out, that man disappeared. And
Right.
no one ever knows what happened to him. So we're gonna move on from that.
Now,
I do, and it's the Cardi B versus Tasha K case update. Um, so for people who are not following this case, Tasha K, originally Cardi B sued Tasha K for slander and what's the other one? Defamation of character.
Uh-huh.
So she slipped. Okay. So for everyone who is not aware of what's going on with this case, as we all know, Tasha K is a YouTuber. She is in a lawsuit with Cardi B. Cardi B, I think, initially sued her for defamation of character and slander. When Tasha K put on her YouTube show that Cardi B had herpes, she had HPV, um, she committed adultery on Offset. She put a bottle up her you know what on stage. So it was just a lot of things that Cardi B said was incorrect and felt was just slander. So she countersued Tasha K. Tasha K countersued her, saying that she cost her hundreds of thousands of dollars by slandering her, calling her a YouTube. I guess she said calling her that YouTube lady. She said messed up her brand. So that was her original claim. By her saying that I'm not credible, it kind of messed up her brand, and she was cheated out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the case was going on. The lawyers, Tasha K's lawyer was up there. The judge, she presented their stuff of why she was saying that Cardi B had, why Tasha K was saying that Cardi B had herpes. She was saying that someone told her, one of Cardi B's ex associates came and told her that, and she just assumed she had HPV because of the stripper that she said was Cardi B was putting a beer bottle up her cooch,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm.
So she was saying, "Oh, because she did that. That's why I'm assuming that she had HPV." Well, the judge ended up throwing that video up because after they watched the video, they determined that Cardi B said that isn't her. After they watched the video, they determined
It was.
that they could not decide whether that is her or not. So that video got thrown out. She was saying that people were saying in the comments that it's not Cardi B, and Tasha K saw that and admitted it.
Yep.
Admitted it on but said I'm posting it anyway. I don't care whether I don't know whether it's her or not, right? But she's still posting it. So what's happening is it looks like they're going to trial. Tasha K's lawsuit has been thrown out, so it's now about Cardi B's counter Cardi B's original suit. If Tasha K loses this case, she'll probably have to pay somewhere in the range of $75,000 to Cardi B for damages and her lawyer fees. And well, it won't be her lawyer fees because lawyer fees is way more than that, I'm sure. But $75,000 in damages. And she, as far as YouTube goes, she would have to take down all of those videos of Cardi B, and probably YouTube is going to say, "Oh, so that wasn't true. Well, you can give that money right on back."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly how YouTube works. So if YouTube said, "Oh, so we was paying you for content that just got dragged to court, so now our videos are mixed up in this court case because it was determined that you were not telling the truth. So you are going to have to give that money back that you got monetized." Um, you following this case, what's your whole take on it? Who do you see winning this case? You think Cardi's lawsuit they'll end up throwing her lawsuit out as well, or what? How do you see this case ending up?
I don't think her lawsuit is going to get thrown out because, like you said, Tasha K made the mistake. She was boastful when she said this, but she said, I know it's not true, but I'm going to post it anyway. And
Mm,
that's you admitting that you just defamed somebody's name and
right,
I didn't care. So it's not going to get thrown out for that particular reason. I think the beef between her and Cardi B is kind of petty. Tasha K,
very petty.
she has a really good platform. Her platform
Yeah,
is huge. Her platform is nice. She's professional. The quality on the camera and everything that she uses, I love it. I have nothing negative to say about Tasha K. But like I said, her beef with Cardi B is petty. And I've seen, I've seen her lose platform after platform because she gets in petty beefs with celebrities, and she always loses because celebrities, they have a bigger platform and a bigger,
right,
and they
and a
have.
bigger pocket.
So if I know her followers are messy, so they're going to end up sending her this anyway. My biggest advice is to you is don't die on that hill. You're going to lose
Mm,
this lawsuit. I hope you have the money to pay for it, but don't die on a hill on hating on celebrities just to please your audience, because it never works out in the end.
absolutely true. I totally agree. Totally agree. And I also agree. Like I said, I'm a fan of. I don't really particularly base who I'm a fan of on their content. I'm a fan of. I used to watch Tasha K all the time because like I said, she has a nice setup. She was the first one that I really seen. I'm like, when I looked at her show and was like, this chick is really making money off this show because like you can just look and just see how she was advancing, and then she's got the ads. People are paying her for the ad. So I was like, man. Then I'm looking at her views, like, wow, she's got you know close to 1 million subscribers. So, and I remember when Tasha K, before she even started the YouTube channel. So I was like, man, she's really it has advanced it. So I'm a fan of, like you said, I like her setup the same way I like Armand. I think Armand and Star have probably the best cameras. I mean, and I think Armand's very talented. I think Tasha K is talented. She's just very messy, and she just has to know, these celebrities. You go against somebody like Cardi, who's not really putting out music right now. She got time. She's in court anyway. So you might as well take care of another lawsuit. You know what I mean? So, your money might be long in YouTube status. You might have longer money than most YouTubers.
Child, she gotta
But
got money too. She got money. I know she do because she get views out the ass. So
right.
that's good
You
for
got
her.
you up there, you got more money than a lot of YouTubers. Not not them white ones like Logan and those YouTubers that have 30 million subscribers, stuff like that. So, but as far as the urban world, when you talk about people who does this, her impressive, Mob Radio, Armand, Storm. We all pretty much basically just Star, Choke. All of those people. When you talk about she's probably got the biggest platform. Lovely T. She's probably got the
Oh,
biggest
for
check.
sure, she does. And then it's lovely tea for me. And then
Yeah, then Lovely
oh,
T. So, but as far as that goes, she needs to. If Cardi wins this lawsuit and it's public as it is, I think people are going to, I think these bloggers will start being a little more careful, about what they're saying. Y'all gotta have to make sure, you better be like me and go to Lexus. Make sure what you're saying is accurate, or you can back it up if if ever time being. Because I know every single thing that I say, I have a reason for saying it, and I can back it up. Like, I just don't reveal, you know, who told me or how I found it out. But
right.
you can best believe if it ever come down to some law, I'm telling who I got the information from. So y'all might
Period.
as well just tell you that right now. I ain't going to jail for y'all. So or getting sued. I need my coins. So do so many court cases for Cardi continue? Now remember, I don't know how big of a Cardi B fan you are, but we're taking this from, if we're Cardi B fans, from a Cardi B fan perspective. From what they say, she has 12 lawsuits, not 12 lawsuits. Now I know a lot of them are tied up in the assault case with the two bartenders. Um, I know a lot of those cases stem from that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she has the one. She had the one with the former manager, and then she's got one with, as far as a picture goes, with the photographer or the graphic designer or what have you. Um, then she got the Tasha K one, and she's got the ones with the assault. She may have some other small ones out there, but being the fact that she's got 12, as a Cardi B fan, would that concern you? That's a lot of cases for someone who just really got into the game a few years ago, and that's a lot of cases. Would you be concerned taking the you know what type of cases they are? How concerned would you be as a Cardi B fan?
To be honest with you, other than the one with the tattoo artist or the tattoo guy, and the one with Jade and the one with Tasha K, the other ones to me, if she not worried, I'm not worried.
Right.
And Cardi B is not the only celebrity out there getting sued and have been sued over and
Correct.
over and over again. If you go on Pacer, you'll see it for yourself that it's hella rappers out here getting sued and we don't know about it. So I'm not worried
Mm,
about that. The only one I am worried about is the one with Jade. As far as the criminal part of it, I don't think she's going to do any jail time because I got information based off a story I dropped last year. And when I dropped the story, somebody let me know that her lawyer got a piece of evidence. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is.
there goes go to Lexus up
Yeah,
the whole tricks.
it's a piece of evidence, and I wish I could bring this DM up, but I got my page deleted. But it's a piece of evidence that they have that they told me just watch how it plays off. Cardi B is not tripping, she's not worried. This piece of evidence kind of exonerates her. So we'll see. I've
Wow.
been patiently waiting because I don't even know what it is. I just know when I posted this story, and it was a story, it was a screenshot of Jade actually provoking or taunting Cardi B, and when I posted the video, that's when some random person DM me, and she even mentioned the lawyer name. She mentioned the evidence, and she said this is why Cardi B is going to get off. But I don't know about the civil lawsuits. I didn't even know she was getting sued civilly because of this case.
Right. Now I don't know if she, as of right now, I don't even know if she's getting sued civilly. I thought that if you're doing a criminal case, you would have to wait until it's over to sue civil. Like you can't do both.
So
I
that's
mean,
what
so
happened. That what happened with me. I got in a car accident, and
mhm.
it was a really bad car accident. It was slick road rage. The girl got mad at me, and she hit my car intentionally. And when I
Wow.
came, she didn't want to take fault, and I wasn't going to take fault, but she got the ticket, and so the insurance company, they didn't want to cover my car because she didn't take fault, and even though she got the ticket, she didn't take fault. So it was one of those things where nobody took fault. So if I wanted to fix my car, I had to pay the deductible. I went ahead and paid the deductible, but you just know I followed her. The ticket she got, I followed that case all the way until it was over. And as soon as she pled guilty, guess what I did? I called her insurance
Simple
company.
suits.
I called her insurance company. I told them about the guilty verdict, and they had to pay for everything. And not just that, I let them know my back was hurting as well.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah, whenever it's a criminal case going on, you do have to wait until one is over before you could get your way civilly.
Right. And that's what I believe would have to happen with Jade and Baddie G. Um, I'm kind of with you on that. I don't think she'll do jail time for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's they're always going to take into consideration the damage that was done. They spent no time in a hospital. There was no bones broken. Um, they weren't on crutches. They weren't unconscious. So and even though they allegedly got assaulted, they they do take that into consideration. Okay, what they got glasses thrown at them, because if that's the case, why isn't Cardi B in court for throwing a shoe at Nicki Minaj? I mean, it's almost the same thing. You know, she threw they so what they say they would got bottles thrown at them, and she said, I believe she got jumped by Cardi's people or what have you. I don't know whether they said Cardi B personally hit one of the girls. I think they're saying that she orchestrated the the hit, so to speak, or whatever. But I think a combination of not a lot of damage done. Um, Her first time offense was Cardi. I don't think there's any mug shots of Cardi B out there. I don't think she's ever been booked, unless I'm just totally missing it. First time offense. Um, she's if the worst comes to worst, they're gonna say she orchestrated the assault. First time, I don't believe that. And then if at the end of the day, if the her attorney sees that, he'll just take a plea. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I'm sure there's going to be a plea available. Instead of going to he'll probably take a plea and say, But you're right about that information because Cardi B has been offered a plea two different times now, and she said she's not pleading out.
Right. Because like I said, like I told you, I was told whatever they got, whatever evidence they have, Drew Fitton, whatever his name is, they got it. And he's
Wow.
not worried. And because of that evidence, that's probably the reason why she's not pleading out, because she's like, let's take it to court. I'm not worried. Let's go ahead and take it to court. So a lot of people, they talking they crap, but I don't think it's going to age well, Heaven. I think she's going to get off. Or if
Wow.
she's not going to get off, she's going to get the lightest punishment known to man.
Right. Right. A lot of people are hoping that she goes to jail. Oh, put her in jail. I don't think she's doing. I would be shocked, not surprised. I'd be shocked if she did jail time. But Cardi, stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble, girl. I love you.
Stay out of trouble. You
You
got
gotta
too much
relax.
going for you. That someone might stay out of trouble, girl. Let's see what else we got. Okay, our girl Megan Thee Stallion. She dropped Hotties, something for the Hotties was the name of the EP, the mixtape. I don't know what it was. It was 21 songs, so it ain't no EP. So I'm just gonna call it the Something for the Hotties mixtape because it did have some freestyles on it that we have seen on YouTube or what have you. Um, and it had a couple of songs and it had Thought Ish on it or what have you. Well, Megan Thee Stallion, I've already been on record of this year saying that right now, to me, on paper, when you look at it, I'm taking away the skills and who got the best raps and this that, and the other. And I'm just saying right now, female rap, who is the number one female rapper? And based on 2021, it would have to be Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, she's put out the most music. She got 3 Grammys at the top of the year. She's pretty much right now the face of female rap. So when you are the face of female rap, and on top of that, you got Rock Nation behind you. You won Woman of the Year from 2 different platforms. At the beginning of the year, it was from I forgot who it was, Billboard or what have you, and then she just won it from Glamour, right? And you're all over the place with all these endorsements, and then you drop your project and you get 35,000 streams, 1,000 pure sales. Now
She
just to
only
put
got
it
35,000.
35,000 is what you're talking. Now to put it in perspective, 35,000 in streams is about 49 million streams.
Okay.
But it's 30, but that comes out to about 35,000. So we'll
Mm.
say 49 million streams, but I think every 1,500 streams equals one album sale. So to 35, she like 49 million streams. But 35,000 is 35,000. Now, if anybody else does, I see a lot of people. Armand Wiggins is one of them, and I love Armand. And when other artists come out and they do 35,000, we call it a flop. So I don't want to really, I can't really put. We're not going to talk about why but 35,000 for Megan the Stallion is a flop. But the question is, why? Doesn't she have, how many millions and I know it doesn't equate to fans, but how many million Instagram followers does Megan Thee Stallion have? 26 million Instagram followers. I'm sure some of them are fans. I think she's got 4 million Twitter followers. You could only muster 35K, 35,000 sales. What happened, Go to Lexus?
I don't know, Heaven. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I didn't even know she was dropping a tape. I don't dislike Meg Thee Stallion. I'm not the biggest Meg fan. I didn't like her last album.
Right.
I think it was lackluster and boring. It truly was a snooze fest. But I like her music. I like her persona. And so if I knew she was dropping a tape, I would have listened to it. And I listened to one of the songs on there, and that's it. Which one is it? Two songs, Thought Ish and Eat It. Eat It is my stuff. My favorite song. I love it.
That ironically is the only song that charted too on the top 100.
But no, I don't know why she's not trending. I don't know why. I don't know if it has any. I don't know because it's not like she's not hot. She's hot. She got fans. She got the platform. It's just I don't know if it's marketing. Maybe it's I don't want to blame something I don't know. I just want to say that like I said, I didn't even know she dropped the tape. The only reason why I even heard Eat It is because it came on after I was already listening to somebody that I unpurposely played. And Apple Music, they do that now. Instead of stopping the song after it ends, they just play something else. So they play Eat It. I'm like, ooh, I like this song, but I didn't know she was dropping the tape. So it could be because nobody knew about it.
And that is again, that's a problem. You made a good point. That's a problem. The point is, you have these people behind you, and you got Rock Nation behind you. Um, Everyone should know you're dropping an album, not just the people on Instagram. I know she put on Instagram and said, "Oh, this is for my fans." Some point how it's supposed to be just for her hotties or whatever. But okay, just your fans. You couldn't muster, you know, 35K. You
Right.
couldn't muster more than that. And if you're doing it for your fans, and Nicki Minaj re-released, I don't mean to put them or compare them, but Nicki Minaj re-released a mixtape that was over a decade old, and she did 80K. I mean, and it's a mixtape that's already been out and heard with only 3 new songs on it. So I don't know. Megan Thee Stallion fans, I don't know what y'all doing out here, but your
It's not
girl is out.
even what they doing because if you keep giving your fans the same thing, the same type of content over and over again, even they gonna, no, they're gonna fall back. It's on Megan to switch up her style and challenge herself. Challenge
Mm,
yourself. Stop sounding the same. Stop talking about the same topic every single song. Challenge yourself. Really
totally agree.
deep. Like you lost your mother. You had one of the most biggest tragedies your alleged happened to you. You're alleging that Tory Lane shot you. We want to hear the pain. We want to get the rap
Right.
out of Meg Thee Stallion. I so badly want that. And to be honest with you, Heaven, when I listened to her last album, that was my expectation. I 100%
Right.
did that. So when I got something totally different, something that I've already listened to 100 times before, I turned it off. So if she comes if she comes to us with a freestyle where she's going in and it's substance, it has substance, I think more people would tune in to Meg Thee Stallion. Because if you're going to call yourself a real rapper, you write your own music, you're a real rapper, then give us something other than shake your ass music.
And
I
I take
so
your
bad,
man. Yeah, I get it.
you know what I'm saying? I so badly want that. Let's get real. You could do the fun music and you could do real music, but we haven't got anything real from Meg yet. So she needs to challenge herself. She does that, she'll get a better reaction from fans.
Yep. When you heard it here from Go to Lexus, she just told you why Megan Thee Stallion flopped. I'm with it. I'm definitely with it. So shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. Keep challenge yourself. Take go to Lexus's advice and come with something different. We already know you can take anybody's man, and we know you can take their money, and you got a dope body, and you can clap your booty. We know that stuff. Let's hear something else. Topic of the day, and it is, and of course, go to Lexus. You're just gonna have to just go on just pure intelligence because you don't have children,
None.
so you don't have a baby father.
Nope.
Um, but I see a lot of people where they're like, oh, my baby father, they go into on to other relationships and they can't be in other relationships because their baby father is still coming around or what have you. And they still feel as though is this thing with baby fathers and baby mothers where they feel as though even when you're broken up, they still got dibs like on you. But they're more than just an ex. They're not an ex. You have a child by them, right?
Mhm.
So their thing is, I still have dibs because I don't care who you're with. I can still come over and I have the right to still sleep with you. I have the right to say who comes around my kid. I have a right to say who you have up in this house because I'm your baby father. Um, and then I do know some baby mothers that do the same thing. Do you think, and I'll also give you my rule on baby mothers because I do have uh, three different ones. but uh, I have three different ones, but thank God I've never had any baby mama drama except for my first daughter's mother. She's not even in my daughter's life anymore. Like she's just like a total douchebag. So she pretty much gave my oldest daughter up at 2, and I've had custody of her ever since. But um my thing is they have this thing where I lost my train of thought. I have this thing where I say, and a lot of men are like, "Nah, I'm crazy." My thought is, and maybe it's because my children's mothers were never an issue. If you're not married, I always say you need to treat your baby's mother like a wife. And if you're not married, and those are the mother of your children, I don't think that they should be treated just like any old ex-girlfriend or any old other girl. Like I had my second daughter's mother call me like 2 months ago, just like, I just want to thank you for being my baby father. Like we haven't been together in 15 years. And she was like, I just want to thank you for being my child's father. You know what I mean? Because my my baby mothers, both of them got houses that I bought. Both of them got whips that I bought, right? And I just make sure that they're good. Now I understand that every man ain't gonna be as lucky as me. Like they got a couple of girls out there that's pretty bad. But how do you feel as though the way men treat their children's mother? Because I'm sure you, even though you don't have kids, I'm sure you've seen or had friends that baby's father treated them like garbage, or you've seen it. And what do you feel about that whole relationship thing? Do you feel as though a child's mother or father are always going to feel as though they got some sort of dibs on you?
So I grew up with that. My dad treated my mom that way.
Okay.
So my mom, she was always independent. She's an engineer, so she makes that type of money. And my dad, he never made more money than my mom, so she didn't give him that access.
Right.
When they broke up, they were done. She was over it. She was done with him, and she moved on. And when I got older, she was able to share the story with me because she refused to do it when I was growing up. And this is why I tell women all the time: you got to let your kids find out things on their own, because
Right.
if
Right.
you
Good point.
if you interfere with anything, or you sitting there talking negative, your kid, they're gonna grow up, and once they grow up, they're gonna realize who was wrong in that situation. You don't want to be that person who's wrong. So, like I said, my mom, she never really bad talk my dad. The only thing she really ever did was call him a fat ass. That's really it. I noticed when I got older, I noticed once I got older that it was my father always talking negative about my mother. I noticed that once I got older, I was like, every single time I'm with him, whenever that is, he's always got something negative to say about my mom. And it was never vice versa. I found out how much money he pays. I'm a twin. I have a brother, so he has two kids with my mom. I found out how much money he paid a month on child support, and he used to lie and make it seem like he was paying millions, and how he was just taking care of my mom and stuff like that. I found out for two kids every month, man was only paying 600.
Wow.
And I remember those grocery trips with my mom alone, and she was paying alone 600 a week on groceries. So that wasn't nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So,
Right.
and once I got older, I realized my mom, she was really doing that by herself. I wasn't seeing my dad nothing but 2 times a year, and it would be times I would
Ooh.
call him, wanted to hang out with him, and he would be like, "I'll get right back with you. I'll get right back." That was his favorite thing to say. You feel what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I feel like he was only that way because my mom, she removed that access away from him. I remember when they were together, when I was a kid, when they were together, my dad was taking us everywhere, paying for it, taking us everywhere, buying us everything, buying her everything. But once she removed that access, it showed his true colors.
Mm.
And I don't have a relationship with my dad now because I'd rather not have a relationship with you than you sit there and play with me. That's just how I
Right.
feel about it. I just totally cut him off because you're not going to sit here and play with me. I sincerely loved you. I sincerely was a daddy's girl. I sincerely wanted a dad in my life. I legitimately want that. I never cried about it. I just looked at him and I done lost all respect for this man. But
Right.
I want to encourage all women, just like what you said, like you pay for you have a good relationship with your baby mothers, and I'm sure you didn't ask for sex and stuff like that afterwards, did you?
Right.
So,
No.
some
No.
of
That
I did.
with the that's one thing. That's one thing about my daughter's mothers. Um. Now I have with my now I have had you know we have been intimate like after the fact, but it wasn't because of that. It wasn't because it may have just been a moment. I may have been over. She may have had a good day, but whatever the case may be. But it was never because, oh yeah, you better do this, you better give me that if you want me to continue doing this. It was never that. It was never that reason. So yeah, that's never been the premise of it. That's just my beliefs on if they're not married, if they don't have a husband, right? And you don't have a wife. Like to me, I always thought it's especially as black men, because we get a bad rap for being baby fathers anyway. But I always thought for black men, just treat your baby mother, you know what I mean, with a certain level of respect, because no matter what type of person you feel as though she is, now you had to at some point during that act you must have thought she was mother worthy because you didn't take precautions to not get her pregnant. Now, the only people that I exonerate from that is women that, you know, trick a man into getting pregnant or poke a hole in the condom or lie and say I'm on birth control and they're really not. I mean, and stuff like that. But if it's just a general act of you both, not using unprotected sex, at some point you must have felt as though she was okay because you shot a baby up in her. So in that from that perspective, I feel as though she should be treated like your wife if you don't have a wife, just like a wife that don't live with you. I think she should be taken care of. You should make sure because she is raising your child.
Yeah, I wouldn't say wife. I feel like I feel like men shouldn't treat women as their wife if that's not their intentions to make them one. And I don't think women should be treating men like their husband if that's
Mhm.
not who they are to them. I just feel like you men have so much pride, bro. Y'all have so much pride. Not you in general, but men in general. Like
Right.
I feel like men in general, they feel like if they not with a woman, if she don't want a relationship with them, then they don't have to do certain things. And I feel like if it's the mother of your child, her health and her mental health is as important. as it is to your children, because if you
Absolutely.
are right, then your kids not going to be right. And
Right.
that could be 100% a concern for men, and I feel like it's not. And I feel like, what type of men are you that you're not taking care of things and making things easier for the mother of your child, whether she's with you or not? That's that shouldn't even be a concern once a baby is involved. That's why, having that's why I'm taking my time having kids right now, because I don't know what angle I'm going in with this. I want to be married. I want to be married before I have kids. I want to give my kids a fair chance, because the last thing I want to do is be with a guy and have a kid with a guy like my father. I don't ever want to.
Mm.
I don't ever want to do that. I want to, if anything, I want to put the right man in my child's life, that even if we're not together, you're still going to be there for me and for my kid, because that's the right thing to do. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is a strong, great take. And I really appreciate that take. It's spoken from somebody you think you had kids. The way you hit that take on the head. So anyway, y'all, that's it. For the Goat Talks podcast. We got into a lot of good things, and just let people know that we like to get into the mess, and we got the tea and get the exclusive, but we can get into some other things too now.
Right.
I mean, we get into some other things too. We versatile up over here. That's why we goats. Um,
Go day.
Good. We'll see y'all next week. Go to Lexus. So thank you, thank you, thank you as always. Enjoy your week, and shout out to everybody out there that's tuned in for the first two episodes, and we gonna keep it going, man.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. I'll see you guys next week.
Yes.